And so men back in the day, like you said, were the providers and the rule setters. But in today's world, the modern male is not like that anymore.
I actually think that there's a strength in being soft. Because if you think about it, being soft is often accompanied by being calm. That you can tap into no matter where you are, no matter what the situation you're in, no matter what. It allows you to see the bigger picture.
Feminism didn't just change things for women, it also altered the way that men see us as well. So to think about it, if men mostly see our masculine side, would they even be attracted to us?
Not the straight man, no. Probably not. Hey, sis.
Hey sis, how are you doing?
Tired.
Oh. I understand that, trust me. I'm the same way.
Yes.
I'm glad it's another week. Hopefully it'll go by quick. So
Yeah,
we got this.
forewarning. I want to give a forewarning for anyone who is watching and listening. I'm just letting you guys know that I have worked 12 hours overnight and I have not slept. So
I don't know how you do it.
I'm gonna need y'all to give me some grace. If I stop making sense at some point, you know why. But you know, that's the dedication that we have to this. So it is what it is.
Y'all understand.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so before we get started on our main topic today, I do want to bring up the topic of the B2k versus Pretty Ricky versus situation. I know that in one of our past episodes, we had talked about how if anything else comes of it, then we will circle back to that topic and chow.
Boom. Here we go.
Something has come of it. Matter of fact, they are in full blown about to have a real life versus battle. And
yes, and it's on the 25th of June. So don't you guys miss it. If you want to watch and see who's gonna win, because we would like to see your opinions.
I doubt anyone's gonna miss it, child. Like, I just
can't believe it's happening.
You know what? Even though I was not a fan of it happening in the first place, I'm still gonna watch because I'm intrigued. I gotta see how this is gonna play out.
Me too, because I mean, like we mentioned, there are two different sounds, so it's interesting how.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, I'm not trying to be messy or anything, but I'm just saying that according to the reels and videos that we've posted, a couple of people have weighed in their thoughts.
Yeah.
And a lot of people I feel like we're the only ones that are indecisive of who we would choose, but other people are not shy of who they are going with.
It's like, it's hard to choose. Like, it's gonna be tough because they're both good groups, like boy bands. They're both good. So it's like,
what I'm getting, what I'm seeing in the comments is a lot of people are rooting for Pretty Ricky.
That's what I saw too. And I'm like, well, because I don't know if it's because of the grown and sexy vibes or what, but it's hard to compare them to. It's just hard.
It's really hard. They should have had two bands that had similar sound. You know,
exactly.
They don't have to be exactly the same, but they somewhat to where it's, you know, they both
make sense.
Yeah, like you're literally having two separate
different.
Yeah.
Type of groups.
You have Young Love versus Grown and Sexy, and I'm sorry, you can't go hit for hit with that. Like,
no, at all. And so the thing is like, because they both ruled the 2000s. They both were good in the 2000s. So it's like, it's going to be hard to
they both ruled it in their own right. And it's, you know, I don't know how. That's why we got to watch it, because I don't know how though. But, you know, forewarning, we're letting y'all know our reaction and response to this is going to be a little bit late, because Amia is taking a well-deserved vacation.
Yes, that I needed. So
yes,
I I apologize that it's gonna be a little wait, but then I don't apologize because I need this vacation.
She's
So
like, sorry, not sorry. I'm going to be
yes,
overseas living my best life, and
yes.
we will get to it when we get to it, right?
Oh yes, y'all. We're not gonna let y'all down. We're gonna still get to it, but
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I gotta enjoy my vacation. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. As you should, because if I was
Thank
going where
you,
you going, I would enjoy it too. So,
girl. Yes,
mm-hmm. Yes,
but
we'll we'll
but
we'll talk about that when you get back. But
oh
yeah,
yes.
until then, I know I'm gonna be tuning in to the verses, and
Oh yeah.
when you get
I'm gonna
back,
follow up.
when you get back, you watch it and everything, and we gonna have quite a bit to say. I'm just take notes, child.
I'm just anxious and like I can't wait to see how it's gonna go.
But yeah, okay, so that's enough of that male testosterone battle. Let's get into a little bit of estrogen talk, shall we?
Yes.
Yes, yes. So today's topic is going to be something of that it's going to spark some conversation, I will say,
Yeah.
you
I agree.
know, and it's definitely something that I feel will keep us on our toes. So let's get right into it. So, topic of feminism. When we think of feminism, what comes to mind? Amelia, you go first.
Okay, so when I think of feminism, I think of like women having the freedom and opportunity to like choose the life they want without being limited to like double standards or outdated expectations. And so to me, it's like all about equality, empowerment, and making sure, women's voices, rights, and contributions are valued and respected as well. And so that is just my opinion on what I think that feminism comes to mind. So how about you, Azalia?
Like, just thinking of feminism, it just brings women empowerment. I
Mhm.
know that it is the equality of both male and women. And, mind you, feminism as a whole is not a bad thing. I personally believe that women seen as equals to men can be very beneficial, especially when it comes to working in the working world and
Yes.
how pay is determined.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
right?
Yes.
Equality is a wonderful thing in that sense.
Mm.
But where I think the lines get blurred is that it's a tax, shall we say, that the modern woman has to pay for having it all. Yeah. So for one, there's a shift,
Mhm.
and that's from choice to obligation.
Mhm.
And looking back at the traditional woman, they were indoors.
Yeah.
Basically anything having to do with inside the house was their lane. I'm talking cooking, cleaning, taking care of their kids and husband. Not having much to their name other than wife and mom, which are great titles if that's what you choose.
Yeah.
But to have that as your only option would make the modern day woman go insane.
Well, I agree that having a choice it what makes like the difference, but I don't think that most women want to be forced into one role. But I also don't think that there's anything wrong with a woman choosing like to be a wife, a mother, a homemaker, businesswoman, or all the above. And so with feminism, it does give women like options. And to me, I think that's like a real like type of win.
Like, if you think about it, the man was like the sole
Mm-hmm.
provider.
Mm-hmm.
So his role was everything outside of the house.
Yes.
So, he went to work, he made the money, he made all the rules.
Mm.
That kind of power would give like any man that god complex.
That is true. That is true. But I also think like that kind of pressure did come with its own different type of challenges. And so like with the men, they were expected to like carry the entire financial burden. And many didn't have like that freedom to be emotionally vulnerable. And so in some ways, feminism didn't just free the women. It also created this space for men to define themselves beyond, just being only the providers.
That is true. That is true, but I will say us women had a lot on our plates as well, yet didn't understand our strong impact that our roles really were. So you fast forward to modern times and you add in the impact of feminism, and then boom, Boss Lady was created.
Yes, that's true. And that's where I think like where the shift really happened, like when my women like realized they were capable of contributing outside the home. And so many of us like embrace that opportunity. And the challenge is now just figuring out how to balance like all of these roles without feeling like we have to prove ourselves every second of the day.
Yeah, no, we got a taste of that outside life and we got hooked. And I'm not referring to hot girl summers and being in the streets. Like, no, I'm talking about straight up just boss status. Like that
Oh yes.
taste of just having that power, just, it's like, okay, shoot, we wait, hold up. We can do
Boss
this and we
up.
can do it well.
Look, they want to boss up.
Exactly, exactly.
Yes, and I can definitely see that like financial independence, career success, and personal growth can be very empowering. But I also think like some women have started to realize that success doesn't automatically replace connection, such as like the family, the love, or the partnership. And so having one doesn't mean that you have to give up the other. But wait. So hold up, Adrelia.
Well,
So the shift wasn't only with the women, it was also with the men as well. And so men back in the day, like you said, were the providers and the rule setters.
mm-hmm.
But in today's world, the modern male is not like that anymore. So
Mm.
to me, some are more sensitive, want to be stay-at-home dads, or honestly just not interested in women at all.
Facts.
So, feminism didn't just change things for women, it also altered the way that men see us as well. So, to think about it, if men mostly see our masculine side, would they even be attracted to us?
Not the straight man, no. Probably not.
Yes, so I think attraction is a little more complicated than that. And so I feel like most people want the balance. And then a lot of men still like appreciate strong, ambitious women, but they also want to feel like needed, respected, and connected. So just like women don't want to be reduced on just to one trait, men don't either. And to me, the healthiest relationships usually happen when both people can be strong and soft when it is needed.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, the shift isn't in feminism isn't really just about the women becoming more masculine or men becoming less masculine. It's about like basically both the men and women having more freedom to choose like who they want to be. And so the challenge in that is basically just learning how to make those choices like work together in their relationships, their families, and also like in society like as a whole. Do you kind of agree with that?
Oh, yeah. In a perfect world, I would say that there is a healthy balance between being soft
Yeah.
while being in survivor mode. But I just don't think that's how we were supposed to be. I mean, ideally, there is enough time for us to try to be both, just not at the same time. If you think about it, it kind of defeats the purpose of having a partner. If you have all what you need in a relationship, then how will you be able to allow someone else to come into your life and add that missing piece? And that goes for friendships and romantic relationships. It would be nice to get yourself together and go through that survivor mode. Then, once you're established, allow that softer feminine side to appear. But
Mhm.
unfortunately, it doesn't always work out that way. And truth be told, once boss life kicks in high gear, it's kind of hard to come back from that into more of a submissive mindset. Would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions about feminism. And to me, like feminism isn't just about rejecting the traditional roles. It's also about having like the freedom to choose them. So just say like if a woman wants to be like a CEO, I mean, that's her choice. And then if she wants to stay at home and raise her children and be like a stay-at-home mom, that's also her choice as well. And so to me, like the real empowerment is when a woman isn't judged in like either type of way. And so that what makes me think like a lot of society do confuse like the independence with the masculinity. So like what is your thought on that?
So yeah, the a woman having her own and doing her own thing is beyond independent, and it takes a very confident man to bring out her inner nurturing touch. So, but what I'm saying is that us women, we can be judgmental too, and
Mhm.
it's annoying because you'll have married women with kids hating
Mhm.
on single women that
Right.
have their ish together,
Right.
living their best life. And they could be jealous, that they're not on the same level, or that the life they chose is not going the way that they had planned.
Mhm.
Who knows? But I find it distasteful to hate on someone else regardless of their status just because you chose to go down two separate paths.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
it brings me to a story. Like my dad, he used to always talk about a fork in the road. And like, oh my gosh, it was so annoying as a kid because literally he's always talking like there's a fork in the road and you got to know which path you're going to choose and everything. And I was
Mhm.
just like, "Oh my gosh, if he does not stop talking about this dang fork." But honestly, it was embedded in my head. And as I went through life, every major decision I made, I always would think about that dang fork.
Pork.
And like, hey, he was right. And I was able to build my life on my own prior to being in a serious relationship. So I wouldn't have to depend on a man to take care of
Mhm.
me. But on that same note, it was kind of difficult to turn that high masculinity switch off.
Mm.
And to be honest, sometimes I still struggle with being super feminine sometimes.
And I mean, and I can understand that. I mean, that makes sense. And so, like, I guess being independent doesn't automatically like make a woman masculine. And like, such as like paying your own bills, owning a home, getting an education, and building like a career are like life skills. Just having like those masculine traits. And so where I think like the confusion happens is like basically when strength like the strength of a woman gets mistaken for hardness. And so you can be independent and still be very like nurturing, soft, feminine, and loving. And so I just think when people see like a strong woman, they just characterize them as being masculine, but that's not the case. Like a woman could be strong and again and still be feminine. And so that makes me think like some women feel pressured to choose between being soft and being strong. And so what do you think like do you feel like women are pressured with choosing between the two?
Um, Kind of. I feel like, yeah, they are pressured, but I actually think that there's a strength in being soft.
Mhm.
Because if you think about it, being soft is often accompanied by being calm.
Yes.
And now that part, I got down. I got that down almost to a science. Like, I am very calm. My demeanor is very calm.
Yes.
Um, and being calm is a true strength that you can tap into no matter where you are, no matter what the situation you're in, no matter what. It allows you to see the bigger picture and
Mhm.
make wiser decisions based off of objectivity versus pure emotion, which could get you caught up later in life.
Yeah.
So, if you're feeling pressure to choose between soft and strength, the best combination of both is to tap into your inner calm and you'll have the best of both worlds.
That's good. And so, yes, I do think a lot of women feel like they have to pick a side because society keeps telling us like whether we're too soft or whether we're too strong. And so if you're ambitious, basically they'll say you're intimidating. If you're
Mm-hmm.
nurturing, they basically say you're weak. But the truth is like women have always been both. And it takes like strength to lead a company, but it also takes strength to raise a family, heal from heartbreak, and also to show vulnerability. So I don't think softness and strengths are opposites. I actually think like they are partners and they go together. And so that's what society just need to realize and stop pressuring us to choose between the both.
Right, exactly, because we can do both. And I think that's the
Yeah.
beauty of feminism itself. And it's, it's allowing, even though we are women
Yeah.
and men are men, but it's letting everyone know that we may not have the same way of how we come about things,
Right.
but we definitely have a unique way of how we can get to the same destination. And we need to be seen as equal as such, because it no longer is it the male who can carry it all.
Nope.
Women can do the same thing, and we can contribute. We can actually play both roles. We can if
We
you think
can.
about it, we
Yes.
can be that boss, and we can be the more submissive, housewife. So if anything, watch out.
Exactly. I mean, it's your choice on what you want to do and where you plan to lead to. It's like don't let nobody make you feel that you have to choose because of what the stipulations were back in the day. Use both, y'all. It's okay to have a masculine
Exactly.
side and it's okay to have a feminism side.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. All right. So, real talk, no filter.
Let's
All
go.
right. So, let's go. So, so let's get back to the shift. Okay. Earlier we talked about the shift of obligation and choice and everything, but now let's take it to a more statistical scale.
Okay.
And that would be from the traditional complementary roles to now the modern push. So for women to operate entirely in their masculine and independent energy, this shift did not just happen overnight, obviously. It
Yeah.
took years for it to get to this point. And if I'm being
Yes.
completely honest, it still remains a struggle at times.
Oh yes, most definitely. And I think that's why this conversation it can be so uncomfortable for many. And we have generations of women who were taught to need a man for survival, and now we have generations of women who are taught that you don't need a man at all. So
Exactly.
somewhere in the middle is where most of us are still trying to find that balance.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure. And like, going towards some statistics, stats show that a major increase in divorce rates from the late 1970s to the early 1980s. In fact, in today's time, 70% of divorces are initiated by women. Why is that?
I think a lot of women are leaving marriages today because they have the ability to. And years ago, like many women stayed because they financially like couldn't leave, even if they were unhappy in their marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And now today, like women have way more options, but that doesn't automatically mean like the marriage is worse. It just means that people have different standards and expectations. And so, regarding the divorces being initiated by women, some women may leave because they no longer can tolerate like behaviors previous generations accepted. And others may leave because they are just carrying on like too much of that emotional, mental, or financial load. So I guess every situation is just different, which is why I don't think there's one simple answer to that question.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's easy to blame it on feminism,
Hmm.
but that would be so ignorant. Like, all feminism did was allow women to be seen as equal and not have to rely on a male's permission to do things outside of the complementary roles that traditional women used to have.
Exactly. And then I don't think feminism caused divorce. What feminism did was just give women more freedom to like make the choices. And so the real question is whether men and women have adapted to those changes in a healthy way. And so freedom doesn't automatically teach us how to build a successful relationships. And I just think we're seeing now is less about feminism versus traditional values and more about people trying to like figure out what partnership looks like in 2026. And so basically, women just want more independence and men just want purpose. And so most people still want love as well. And basically the challenge is just figuring out how all three of these can exist in the same relationship.
Very well said. I have nothing to add to that.
Well, then, if you don't have nothing else to add, I guess we could just basically just take away from today's conversation. Basically, it just isn't about choosing between feminism and femininity. It's about basically recognizing like that women can be both strong and soft. We can be independent and we can just be very nurturing. And so basically with feminism, it gave us more choices, but with those choices it did come with new challenges in relationships, family, and identity. And so the takeaway is that the true empowerment isn't fitting into society's definition of womanhood, and it's having the freedom to define basically for yourself and while creating a life and relationships that do align with your values.
Amen. Better preach and tell these people.
Ooh, mic drop.
Right? Yes. Hey, you know,
Oh Lord.
Mia she be coming with these gems, y'all. Y'all need to be listening.
Look, I just want to help y'all, okay?
Yes.
That's all.
Exactly. So yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, we want to hear from you in the comments. What are your unfiltered thoughts on feminism and femininity? Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Also, ring the bell so you never miss an episode of Sister Talks.
And for our sisters who are listening, thank you for letting us be a part of your routine today. Make sure you follow our show and leave us a review, especially if this topic did resonate with you. Okay? We just want to get more engagement from you guys, okay?
Yes.
Okay, sis. Well, this was a good topic for today, and I enjoyed discussing this with you, like always.
Yeah.
And until next time, I'll talk to you later. I love you.
Love you too.